Good evening,
Hi,
everyone.
everybody.
Hey, we're back. All right. Keith is feeling much better.
Hey,
We're back. All right. Keith is feeling much better.
I am alive,
Yes,
everyone.
he is. He
Project
is.
Necromancer.
Okay. All right. And medicine, it helps. It
And
does the
also
trick.
Mom.
Yes. And mom. Yes. Thank you. So, mom has nursed you back to health. Thank you, everyone. This is Father Son Galaxy. I am Kerwin. This is Keith. Can I just start off, before we get into, this episode 9? I have a very bad feeling, Guess I shouldn't say a bad feeling. That just sounds so common. I'm afraid for the people of Pabu. I don't know. Something is not right. It's too quiet. First of all,
Yeah, why does Pabu look so dead in this episode?
well, okay. So, we're going to talk about Asajj. It's a spoiler review and, she does appear. But how is she able to drive a ship into the planet, parking inside a cave, and no one says anything to her? Do they
Parallel
even
parking
know?
is hard enough. I mean, how'd she manage to fit that ship inside a cave without making some noise?
Yeah. Where is Pabu's security? I'm very concerned about this planet.
And it had to have been recent because Omega says, we've been in those caves all the time before. And when she finds Ventress' ship, so.
Right. Okay. And that's leads to another question. Okay, well, how did Ventress find the batch so quickly?
Now, and if Ventress can find the batch,
exactly,
who else can?
That's right. That's right. So I don't know what's going to happen to Pabu. It is such a beautiful planet. I love the people there, but I don't think they're ready. The Empire's going to bring
Pabu's about to get their world rocked.
The Empire is going to bring a fight to that planet. Oh, man. Anyway.
I really hope they don't blow it to smithereens.
Yeah, I hope not. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We are going to talk about episode 9. Can you believe we're at episode 9 already of the Bad Batch?
Yeah, we're
season 3.
Halfway through the season.
Yeah, the final season. This episode is titled The Harbinger, directed by Stuart Lee, written by Jennifer Corbett, story by Matt Mechnovitz.
Matty.
All right, so let's get into this. All right. So they wasted no time. So it just seemed logical that the person that Fennec Shan was talking to last week's episode was Asajj. All right, which makes sense because Ventress is a bounty hunter, right? So you just have one bounty hunter talking to another.
Yeah, and Screen Crush pointed this out, but she's like one of the only Force sensitives out there who could just hit and vanish. Like, she would have no reason to turn Omega in because they'd want to take her too.
Yeah, right. Now, maybe you can answer this question for me. I'm not sure, but apparently she is aware, she as in Ventress is aware of midichlorians and the M count.
She actively said midichlorians.
Right, but how
I thought there was a ban on that word.
But how does she know about midichlorians? Yeah.
Isn't she Force sensitive?
Well, yeah, but I don't recall.
A Sith.
All right, well, you're the big Clone Wars fan. I know the word midichlorians was mentioned in the Phantom Menace, but was that ever mentioned in the Clone Wars?
Not to my knowledge.
Clone Wars series. Okay. Yeah, so it's just, unusual that she would know that. But I understand. Now, if that is the case, if the Empire is looking for people with a high M count, she might be a victim or a target. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So, right. So I think she's really putting her life on the line, even fighting Omega. Now, speaking of Omega, what was the reason for Asajj being there? Because she didn't really give them, the batch, much information. Well, she didn't give them any information. What they want to know is, what is the M count? Why does the Empire want Omega? Asajj was unable to answer any of those questions.
Well, she told them what M count was.
Okay, well, all right. She told them what the M count was, but she's kind of throwing them off because towards the end of the episode, she says to Crosshair and Hunter that Omega's M count is low. Now, do you believe her?
No.
I think no. Right.
Crosshair actively points out that she's lying.
That she's lying. Right. Yeah. So, okay.
So Omega probably has a higher M count than they're estimating.
Right. But why does she lie? Why does that help them to believe that Omega has a low M count?
Well, you know how Jedi training goes. They have to take the Padawan away from their family, like with Grogu and Mando.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit more. So, all right. So we meet Asajj, and she finds Omega, and Omega is screaming, and the Batch come looking for her, and
Yeah,
apparently,
Betcha comes to get help.
yeah, and apparently Ventress thinks that Omega may be force sensitive and wants to put her through some tests, which is the standard test that you would see, that, same test that Luke went through.
Yeah, balancing fruit on your head, grabbing a lotus blossom from an easily accessible tree at the top of a mountain.
Yeah, right. And just like what Luke did with Rey, training her, however short that was. But so why? I mean, is Asajj looking for an apprentice, or is she really looking to determine whether Omega is strong in the Force? I don't think that was answered for me. I'm not quite sure about that.
I think she was just testing her force sensitivity.
Okay.
Ventress is like the one person who should not have a Padawan under any circumstances.
Well, true, right. She's very dangerous, first of all. And, she is wanted. If anyone were to find out, and by the way, we're going to talk about why she has returned somehow.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Asajj has returned.
Somehow Ventress returned.
Yeah, but she's very dangerous, okay? And she, if people were to find out that she's still alive, the Empire would swarm, and go after her.
Like they say she's a war criminal.
Well, yeah, possibly a war criminal, right. Now, Dark Disciple, apparently the Jedi were able to drop the charges, all right?
She's still a war criminal.
Okay, all right. She's got a reputation.
Like, if somebody robs a bank, but it gets wiped from their record, they're still a bank robber. Bank.
Okay, I get it. Good point. That's a very good point. All right. Well, by the way, Dark Disciple, I don't know how many times we mentioned that book. It's a must read for any Star Wars fan. It's one of the best Star Wars books out there.
And it might be on the chopping block. Well,
okay.
The Bad Batch has a history of threatening the canon of books. Like, they did the same thing with... they did the same thing with that Return of the Sith novel. Back when Orin Free Taa got taken out, or so we thought.
Oh, okay. Well, they were pushing it. But it turns out there is no impact to the storyline. That's when...
Well, we thought he was dead, and then it was revealed in the next episode that he was just fine.
Right. That was back in season 1. Orin Free Taa was the senator of Raxus. According to story lore, he did appear in Lords of the Sith, a book that took place after the events of the Bad Batch. So when we saw the Empire, the Empire purposefully tried to take out Orin Free Taa, well, he survived. And it makes sense that he survived because he's going to appear later on in Lords of the Sith. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, so the Bad Batch does push the lore, the canon, to the limit. So let's now talk about how did Asajj Ventress return. I don't know. She said something very interesting. I wrote it down. I wanted to talk about it. And I don't know what she meant by what she, at the end when she was leaving and Hunter asked the question, well, are you afraid that the Empire is going to come after you? And then her response is, not really. They could come after her, but she has a few lives left. What does that mean? She has a few lives left.
What do you mean by that? Is Ventress like a cat person? She got 9 lives?
Yeah, I don't know.
But
that was a very interesting comment there.
I wish the Bad Batch would just come out and outright say
tell us
how Ventress returned.
So let me know what you think out there. I mean, did she return? Well, when she said that, immediately I thought, oh no, she's a clone.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. But is that possible?
It's like when Kang said "see you soon" at the end of Loki, and then the rest of the show is chasing variants.
That's a good point, right?
I don't.
Ooh, yeah, it's hard to know. It's really, really very
she might
interesting.
be a clone, which brings me to a question I had.
Mm-hmm.
You think Omega might have a little bit of Ventress's DNA in her?
Ooh, let's talk about that because you brought that up, and that's something it never occurred to me.
Yeah, because if you look at them side by side, they have the same or similar hair color, and they're both force sensitive, which is something that Jango Fett does not have.
That's a very good point. Yeah, I've always felt that Omega, there's something different about her. That force sensibility came from someone else.
Yeah, she's special.
Yeah, I mean, for a while, I've always thought it was Palpatine. It could still be Palpatine, but it can also be Ventress. Then that would be very interesting. That
Well, I would just wonder how.
Yeah, we don't know.
Because in 32 BBY, she'd probably still be being trained by Chimeric.
True. That's
Unless
true.
she took a DNA sample, because she had hair then.
Right, and why would she allow someone to get her DNA?
Maybe
in
she
the first
didn't
place.
know.
Yeah. All right. Well, that question is out to to those of you who are watching us on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook.
Let us know in the comments.
Let us know what you think. Why is Asajj Ventress back? What does she want with Omega? Was she really looking to train Omega to be an apprentice, or was she just testing to see how strong she is in the Force? All right. We have Q&A. Let's go. What do we have? Thank you so much once again, everyone who's watching and listening. And Ventress is lying because my gut retracted. Thank you, Bloom. Yeah.
Thank you for that insightful comment.
Right. So yeah, she is lying. Well, as far as what she's lying about, I think
almost certainly.
Yeah. So we know Omega has a high M count. I'm still not understanding why she told the batch a different story.
Well, I have two theories.
Okay.
One, maybe Omega doesn't have a high M count because, the Empire, they're looking for somebody with any M count. Like, it doesn't have to be high. She's the only clone to have this.
Right.
But as to your point of why she would lie about it, I mean...
Yeah.
Maybe she's thinking that if the batch don't know, that it won't hurt her. Because, Jedi training usually means that the Padawan has to split from their family.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing. Now, because you have an M count, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to train to be a Jedi. Why do you have to be a Jedi? Or a Sith? Why can't you just be someone that has Force sensitivity and use it for some other purpose?
I don't know.
Yeah, but so that's my point. Like, why is Asajj interested in training? Well, you know what? Okay, unless Asajj is preparing for war with the Empire. And if that's the case, she doesn't want to go at it alone because she knows that she is a wanted person, that maybe somebody like Omega would be there to back her up. I don't know.
Well,
maybe that could be it.
I doubt it.
No?
I don't. You have to be some level of low to drag children into a battle for your own gain.
We've seen it in Star Wars. That's nothing new to Star Wars. We've seen. Well, I mean, Ahsoka was very young when she fought in battles.
Well, yeah, but she kind of volunteered.
Okay.
Like, she didn't have to fight. She walked away at some point, too.
I'm not referring to when she walked away.
Yeah, but like she left when she needed to.
So you mean when she didn't want to fight in a battle, that she left whenever she felt like it?
Yeah.
I don't know that, Keith. I don't agree with that. Well, all right, you have to point me to an episode where she did that.
Yeah.
Let's look at the rest of Q&A. Who do we have here? All right, so we have Alex. Thank you, Alex. The counselor is here. That's a good question. I wonder if someone with a high M count doesn't use it for Jedi purposes, but use it for something peaceful like cooking or home decor. Well, yeah, why not? I mean,
decor is a very lucrative business on Coruscant.
Yeah, sure. And imagine, Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, imagine, if you wanted to home decorate, you can do that in a matter of minutes with the Force, and you probably make a lot of money doing that. But that's a good point.
I wonder if you have the Force. Someone should make you a character.
Okay, it's very nice of you, Keith. I know you've been asking people to put me in.
No, but I'm serious.
Okay.
That would be hilarious. You say my dad's in Star Wars?
Yeah, and what type of character would I be?
A Jedi. Or a Sith.
I would be a Jedi?
Or a Sith.
Or a Sith.
Whatever.
One or the other. Okay. All right. All right.
And you can work in a butter cookie factory.
Okay, there you go. All right. I like that better. I think the Night Sisters brought her back, but did they have some infinite reincarnation spell?
Yeah, like that's the thing I don't understand.
Right.
Usually when Night Sisters raise the dead, they have green glowing eyes,
Yeah,
like in
you
the
said
Clone
that.
Wars
Yeah.
and Fallen Order. And, they look more like zombies and less like people. They're not very good at making it lifelike. Like, even in Ahsoka, the same thing happened. Like, those were zombie troopers.
Well, they may have perfected that spell. You think? Maybe,
Well, but at this point, this is the Bad Batch,
Yeah.
which is, like, right after the Clone Wars.
True.
The Night Sisters had just been wiped out by Grievous.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time of Ahsoka, they're still doing the same exact spell with similar results.
That's a very,
We
very
can't
good
exactly
point. You're
see
right.
their eyes because we're wearing
Right.
helmets, but, like, they are zombies.
I got you. Yep. Yeah, I got nothing on that, but that's a very good point. Jose, thank you, Jose. The mean Ventress and Maul would team up against Vader. Ventress and Maul.
I
team
doubt
up.
it.
Why not? Maul is around, right? At this time.
Yeah, but, like, no.
No. Maul and Ventress, you can't see it?
Well, only because they lose. Like, they have to lose.
Lose against Vader.
Yes.
Well, I mean.
Because Vader has to survive.
Oh, of course.
He's also probably going to give them both a run for their money.
Yes.
I mean, Ventress and Quinlan could stand up against Dooku, swap them out for Maul against Vader, and they're still going to lose.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. That's not a fair fight.
Yeah, like Maul and Savage couldn't hold their own against Palpatine. Imagine that fight against Vader.
Yeah. And speaking of fight, would you have any more Q&A before we move on? All right, speaking of fight, how about that fight between Asajj and the Batch?
It was a 3-on-1 with the Batch and Ventress, and they lost. Ventress even took away their guns and said, no, cheating, and fought hand-to-hand. She didn't use the Force until Crosshair went to grab their weapons. Yeah.
You can tell that the Batch have no clue about the Force.
You saw how fast
or
they were
Jedi.
Going? They were going like a mile a minute, like they were fighting as fast as Eminem raps.
Yeah, it looks like they sped up the video, but it was
almost
just
felt like it sped up.
It felt, but it was really cool though. It was like watching one of those martial arts films from back in the day, like
a Bruce Lee film.
Yeah, and the sound effects and the speed and how they're moving quickly. It was wonderful. I was like, I needed to watch that more than once. And the moves that Asajj was putting on these guys, like flipping them over and
the people's elbow,
put them in headlocks. It's like she's in the ring, the wrestling ring. I mean, it was. She
just swept Wrecker's feet out from under him and then hit him with the people's elbow.
Yeah, a pile driver. I don't know what it is, but it's. But she was just playing with them because she could have destroyed them like in 5 seconds.
She probably would have because Cross she was forced choking Wrecker. She had her saber pointed at Hunter, and Crosshair was in the corner crying.
They don't know what hit them. I mean, it's just so funny.
Yeah,
the way they're running after, like they're going after her, like they get thrown to the left, like thrown over her shoulder.
And when they all lined up with their weapons, like they were about to do something to Ventress, and then she just whips out her saber and just goes beep 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 beep, like making an absolute mockery out of the match.
But what's funny? But I did like the part where when Crosshair was able to get their weapons back, and they started playing the Bad Batch theme. And then you hear the record scratch. And then Asajj came in and just wiped them out. Yeah, so, but that was pretty cool.
Hunter's like, we're not big on following orders.
Yeah.
And then they just got absolutely smacked around.
Yeah. It's just so interesting. But it's unfair.
Ventress really gave them a run for their money.
You know what? It's unfair, right? Because clones... Well, not.
Well, Ventress is Force sensitive.
Well, right. I that's where the Emperor is going, right? It's like, are these clones that he created or somehow orchestrated? He wants them to be just as powerful as Jedi, right? So of course he wants to make them Force sensitive clones so that they can give someone like Asajj Ventress a run for her money, But it was a really good fight. I'm sure it was a lot of fun actually animating that moment.
Remember when Palpatine reached into the world between worlds? And like, Ezra Bridger, Ashoka Tano.
Yeah. pretty cool.
Maybe he's gonna do something like that, but when he finds a Force-sensitive clone.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So, what else do we want to talk about in this episode? Let's see.
Ventress almost killed Omega.
Well, yeah.
She was summoning some creatures, like those little glowing bioluminescent fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then she summoned a Varathian, which is like, I don't know how you make that mistake. That's like me trying to cook an omelet and then accidentally making 100 of them and filling the kitchen with them.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know how you make that kind of mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't take much energy to summon small creatures as compared to a big one.
Yeah.
Maybe it, like, preys on those creatures because it had, like, that green goo dripping from its maw.
True.
Maybe that's from the fish?
I don't know.
Like, it eats them? Because I'm shocked none of the members of the batch mentioned the fact that she summoned a giant monster that could have killed them both easily.
Right.
And the batch not been watching. And she told them to go away.
She did.
The crazy part.
She did. Now, what's interesting is, did we even know that a creature like that existed?
Especially
in the ocean. Yeah. So where did it come from? Like, how far did this creature come that she summoned?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And why did she summon the creature in the first place?
And remember the boat capsized? Right. I love that shot where the boat's flying and then you just see Omega and Ventress one by one fall into the water.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It was. It was. I guess it was another test, but I don't know. Omega. I don't want. I don't know where this is going. But I don't want to see Omega go down the path of becoming a Jedi or training to be a Jedi. I don't want that. What I really want for Omega, I know I've said this before. I talked about it.
She belongs with the batch.
No. Give me a minute. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. So I feel that Omega has a bigger calling, right? Not just going on these missions with the batch if that's the route they want to take, that's how they make their money, not to become a Jedi, not to become a Sith, but to help the clones. She is a help. Yes. She has the gift of not healing, but she's just somebody who just has love for people and for creatures, like for everything. So that is her gift. So what she needs to do is be in a position where she can help other people or other things. So my hope for her, for Omega, is that she does become a senator one day, right? Because I would never forget that episode, in season 2 where she and Senator Chuchi, were at the Senate floor. And Omega's eyes just open, like, wow, this is the Senate floor, and who represents? And she had the great question. She said, "Well, who represents the clones?" And Chuchi said, "Well, no one at the moment." That's an opening. I think that's exactly where Omega needs to be.
Well, she got to get older first.
Oh yeah, sure.
And in that time, she should kick it with the bitch.
Okay, all right.
Missions.
Yeah, she is very young.
And betcha.
Yes. She's very young. I mean, yes, you can have somebody maybe enhance her Force sensibilities.
What?
But she doesn't necessarily have to become a Jedi.
Then what's the point?
Well, I don't know. I think her Force sensibilities can be used for other purposes.
That's like training for a tournament and then not participating.
Okay.
If you start running miles and then you don't do the marathon, it's like...
I get it. I hear what you're saying. I honestly, I don't want her to become a Jedi. I don't want her to be trained. I don't want her to hold a lightsaber. I think her bowcaster is fantastic. She doesn't need anything else. Speaking of
energy crossbow?
The energy crossbow. Right. What did I call it?
A bowcaster.
Oh, so is that not the same thing?
No.
Oh, excuse me.
It's an energy crossbow.
So is that what Chewbacca has? A crossbow?
Bowcaster.
Sorry. Bowcaster. All right.
He's got the bowcaster.
Okay. All right. They both look like the same thing to me. But
no, they're not.
Okay.
One of them has balls.
Balls?
Like, oh. Why did you say that?
Wait, what did you say?
Like, it has like balls on the end of the Oh. Just look it up. I promise I'm not saying something stupid. Just look it up.
Okay. Let's. I'm sure you know what you're talking about. Let's go to Q&A.
I know what I'm talking about.
All right.
Promise.
Yeah. Thank you, Jose. All right. What else do we have? What a great episode. Yes. Yes. The Bad Batch. Yes. It was a very, very good episode. We finally get to see Asajj Ventress. Still don't know what her motivation is, but I'm sure we'll see more of her. It can't just
her
be this one
motivation is
episode.
motivation implementation. So.
Okay. I need to know a little bit more than that. All right. Okay. What do we got? So we have Omega's very loving. I too hope she has a Chuchi-like role. Maybe she can be a chief aide or Chuchi for Chuchi and head of her own security. Yeah. I think, Chuchi would love to have someone like Omega under her wings to train and to, they both have the same cause, right? They want to make sure that the clones are treated fairly, that they get what they deserve. They fought for their republic, and after the war is over, they get cast aside. So
for
it's
the
not
republic.
Fair. Yeah, it's not fair. So absolutely, yeah, she's got to be a part of saving these clones and giving them the rights that they deserve. All right. Speaking of weapon, we're just talking about a weapon. Asajj was carrying a yellow lightsaber. Where did that come from?
Well, didn't she have it in Dark Disciple?
That's a very good
question. She has it on the cover art.
Is it yellow? Was it yellow?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
It's also curved.
Okay, all right.
I don't know why where she got it.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't remember her carrying a yellow
crystals
lightsaber.
Can change color. Like when Ahsoka stole that Inquisitor saber, it turned white.
Okay, all right. I was not aware of that. Okay, all right. That's a good question. Well, good answer. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, what's up next we got Omega. Make feel like Sabine at the end. Omega can get force sensitive. Yeah. You know what?
Well, I don't particularly enjoy how they implemented Sabine's powers. Like I always thought she was just trained in the lightsaber, which makes sense because she trained with bow staffs with her brother on Mandalore. I don't understand why they went the force sensitive route, especially because you would think Kanan or Ezra would have sensed it from, a casual 4 years of living on the same ship with her.
Mm-hmm. That, to me, is still controversial because if you look at Ahsoka, according to, from what I understand from the series, that anybody can have the force, right? And everybody has it. It just depends on how much you can tap into it.
So you mean to tell me Batcher has the force then?
Well, I'm just telling you, what I've seen in Ahsoka versus what we're seeing.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think that concept is stupid, frankly.
Well, okay.
Because I'm like, if everybody has the force, then nobody has the force because it's not special. Like everybody has a brain. That's not special.
No, I get it. I agree.
If everyone has it, then no one has it.
Right. You don't want everyone to have the force because then that just defeats the purpose of being special. Like the idea of people having a force, those are, like people with special abilities that not everyone should have.
But if everybody has the force, then everybody could be a Jedi.
Yes.
Like Han Solo could have the force, and you know how much he doesn't like witchcraft and magic.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Well, okay. So in contrast, if you're looking at the Bad Batch, it depends on, the number of midichlorians in your system. I don't know. So I guess it depends on the era, so the prequel trilogy, that's where we first heard the M word, so
the M word,
but it feels when you watch the original trilogy, again, it has nothing to do with, whatever this, what this DNA, what do you have in your DNA? It's more about, okay, it's inherited.
Are you disciplined enough?
Well, it felt like an inheritance.
Are you disciplined enough?
Yeah, okay, I don't know what that means.
You can also inherit it.
Yes, right.
Just
okay.
like how because Anakin was force sensitive, Luke
Yes.
and Leia were force sensitive, and because Leia was force
Yes.
sensitive, Ben was force sensitive.
Yes. It was the lineage. Okay.
That's how that works.
Right. Okay. Well, for a very long time,
golly.
I thought you just had to, have someone, in your family who has the force, and then more than likely you have it. But apparently that's not the case, right? That it has nothing to do with your family. Is that everyone has it, and that you just got to tap into it. I know you don't like hearing that story. Okay. All right. That's fine. Look, I'm just telling you what I've seen. Okay.
Like, this is the sound I make at 7 a.m. when I wake up.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. So what else we want to talk about this episode? I think we covered everything.
Fun fact, Han Solo was a Jedi in the Yoda Chronicles series. I remember that when the name tag badge got flipped, so the H was an I and he was Ian Solo.
Okay. That's interesting.
It was funny.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He had the same shirt as a Carbonite model from 2016. A minifigure.
Okay.
Same shirt.
Nice.
Different hair, different face, shorter legs, same shirt.
And he was force sensitive.
Yeah, he was with Yoda and all that.
Interesting. And he carried a lightsaber?
I think.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I can't imagine Han with a lightsaber.
They have all these on Disney Plus.
Yeah. All right. We'll just have to check it out then.
It's lovely.
Got it. Okay. All right. So what else? Did we cover everything on this episode?
I think we yapped about everything in the show.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to episode 10. I don't know. It seems every time we watch an episode, there's more questions, or the questions that we want answered, we're not getting the answers to yet. But we still have, how about 7 episodes to go, or 6 or 7 episodes to go? So we'll, it'll get answered. Han Solo. Hello. I'm sorry. What is that name? Alfie?
Alf G.
Okay. All right. Han Solo was also force sensitive in the clone TCG, and RPG. His luck was his force power.
Yeah, what are those?
Yeah, I'm not sure what
the TCG and the RPG.
Yeah.
Like RPG is a role player game, but like.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't think that's the context here.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, if you could please enlighten me.
Yeah, TCG. Let us know what that means in RPG. Okay. All right. So.
Yeah, I'm illiterate.
Stop. Yeah, I'm not very good with the acronyms. All right. So I wanted to mention something.
WDYM.
What is that?
What do you mean?
Okay. All right. We're not going to play this game for the rest of the night. All right.
WYA.
We had the good fortune to interview Clayton Sandell, Kelly Knox, St. Bendy. All right.
Yeah.
They are the authors of a new book, right? As you know, I am a big Star Wars original trilogy fan, right? And they are the authors of this book, Return of the Jedi, the Visual Archive, all right? This book comes out in April.
Thick.
All right, yeah, it's very heavy, as you can see.
Wait, let me have it.
Yeah, I mean, it's thick like a college textbook.
Look at how good the cover is.
Yeah, it's and show the back.
My face is now book.
Yeah, and the
My
back
book is now face.
It's a beautiful cover, front and back. So we had the good fortune to interview these writers about the book. That will be available in a couple of days. We'll let you know when you'll be able to see it.
What does Obi-Wan look like that?
However, if you're interested in seeing it right now, you can see it on our Patreon, right? You can join our Patreon. And
as a patron, you will have access to our exclusive new video.
Right, you will have access to not just this video, but we also have Mark Bernardin that we also interviewed a few weeks ago, and we had Daniel Jose Older and Alyssa Wong. Yeah, so 3 great interviews that you'll find on our Patreon page. All you have to do is become a member.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Donate to me. I need that money for the Skywalker Saga DLC so we can play it.
Right. Question for anyone out there.
You owe me.
Is anyone watching X-Men 97? Let us know. We are considering so far. You've seen the first 3 episodes.
That 3rd episode. It's amazing.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but so far so good.
Spoilers. Guess what happened?
All right. So it looks good. All right. We enjoy it very much. We are considering doing a review of the X-Men episodes. We're still working on the details, but let me know if that's something you'd be interested in talking about. X-Men 97, if you're an X-Men fan or you're trying to get into it for the very first time. All right, let us know. But yeah, we really enjoy this new series, and we'll talk about it more to come. All right. So TCG is trading card game by Decipher in the late 90s. Wow. Think Magic, but in Star Wars universe.
Magic the Gathering.
I know you're looking at me because I was around in the 90s. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that before.
You know what Magic is, though?
No.
Magic the Gathering. It's like a card game.
No. See? I mean.
Wolverine says, review the episodes, Bob.
All right. Okay. All right, Alex.
That'd be cooler if I had, claws.
Yes.
But I don't. So.
Okay. All right. The book looks amazing. It is a great book. It's a wonderful book, Alex. But especially if you're a fan of, Return of the Jedi or the original trilogy.
And Han Solo is so lucky.
But you know what? One thing I want to say, you don't have to be a fan of the movie of Return of the Jedi to enjoy the book, because the idea of the book is that, from what took place in that movie, it has shaped what's to come of anything you've seen after that film. So, after that, you had the prequel trilogy, you had the sequel trilogy, you have, the Disney Plus series, Ahsoka, everything that you see in these series, The Mandalorian, all ties back to Return of the Jedi. Believe it or not, it ties back to Return of the Jedi. So
Correct.
That's the reason why, you should watch our interview and get the book. But yes, so every Star Wars fan should have this book because it's very important to know the legacy of Return of the Jedi. Anything else? All right. Invincible is a great show. Unfortunately, yes, it is a great show. It's not something that Keith can watch, but I will definitely, I have to catch up on that. Yeah, I heard the second season was wonderful. We got a Q&A. Curran and Keith, do you have a favorite X-Men character? Morph.
He's funny.
Okay, now, wait a minute. Now,
also, when did he get there?
Okay, well, that was going to be my question. Now, was he in the original series?
No.
So, all right, so this character just came out of nowhere.
He just morphed into existence.
And you love this character already, huh? Why? Because he's able to shift into any other character?
You know the fun part? He can literally be anybody. Like, he can steal their abilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Which makes him one of the most powerful X-Men.
How about that?
Because he could just take everyone's ability. Like, he could become Deadpool and get his X Factor.
Okay.
He could become Wolverine and get his claws, which he actually does do at some point.
All right, yeah. I like that. Yeah.
He could become Gambit and get his ability to electrify things.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever played as him in Lego Marvel Superheroes 1, he's like the greatest character, but if you like copy his powers onto a custom, you're not able to smack people and then they explode. So Gambit can smack people and they explode. That's the fun part.
Got it. Okay.
Explosions.
All right. I'm a big fan of Storm. I think she is, anybody who can control the weather, that's just awesome. And she's just very regal. I just love the I don't know the actor's name, unfortunately, who does the voice of
She's
Storm.
Good.
But yeah, she's very good. I understand that she is the original voice from the 90s series. So wonderful. I guess I need to look into who this actor is some more. But yeah, Storm has always been somebody who's just, beautiful to look at, her design, her outfit, and how
Mom's
she
is
very powerful. Cyclops is pretty good. Cyclops. Yeah. And, can't forget Wolverine, so. And Jubilee is actually, she's becoming, a
character.
Yeah, no, it's like she's vibrant. I like vibrancy.
They really defined her face.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. All right, so thank you, my producer, super producer. Can you put the name back up again?
Allison
All right, thank
Seeley
you.
Smith.
Allison Seeley Smith is the name of the actor from Barbados, as a matter of fact. All right, my home country. All right, yeah, so she is wonderful as
Yeah.
the voice of Storm. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, to you, Bloom, the X-Men episodes are not depressing. You know, they're very enjoyable.
I didn't think that they were dark.
Yeah, they're not dark.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you can watch it.
Yeah.
I don't have nightmares when I watch it. I'm good.
Okay. Wolverine and Rogue. Yeah, those are two good ones too. Storm and Morph are both awesome. Yeah. I mean, look, I think that's the reason why we love the X-Men, because they're
such a mixed bag.
Yeah, and they all bring something to the table. You know, I can't say that I dislike any of them, you know, because they're all very different. But when they're together, you know, it's like a powerful force, you know, that you can't defeat. So I can't wait to, you know, get through this season. I don't know what's going to happen in Deadpool, but I have the feeling that there's going to be an X-Men reunion, and I can't wait to see it.
I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so as we wrap up, we'll see if we have any final questions from anyone who is watching us. In the meantime, Keith, where can people find us?
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, at Fathers of Galaxy, website fathersofgalaxy.com. Please check out our merch store, fathersofgalaxy.myspreadshop.com. Donate to our Patreon page, patreon.com/fathersofgalaxy.
Okay, that's it.
Pay me, please. I need to buy this DLC.
Didn't you get those yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
You pay me, please. I need to buy this DLC.
Didn't we take care of this already?
No.
No? Okay.
Pay me, please. I need to buy bread. By the way, did anybody else know that Spider-Verse came out with a new horror short?
Oh, no, I didn't know about this.
Like the Spider Inside.
Mm-hmm.
So they came out with this like a few hours ago.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. So Alf G said, never watched the X-Men cartoon. I was more into Spider-Girl at the time. Spider-Girl
had a cartoon?
Probably.
Like, wait, which one?
Okay.
Because there's multiple.
Probably what I heard, that Mr. Sinister will be the big bad guy in the MCU X-Men. Mr. Sinister. Interesting. I don't know too much about Mr. Sinister.
He's very sinister.
Yeah, well, I'm going to look into that.
He's a scientist from the 1800s.
Yeah. You know, I never gave it any thought as to who the villain is going to be in Deadpool. All right, Sinister. Okay.
Or X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
The X-Men don't really have many villains besides Magneto and Mr. Sinister. Many name like villains that come to mind. You think of Magneto, you got to reach for Mr. Sinister. I can't think of anybody else.
Honestly,
also Phoenix occasionally becomes too much of an issue for them to deal with.
Yeah, honestly, I can't think of any. Would Galactus be
Fantastic
Four? Okay, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. That I'm not up on the X-Men villains, but I'm sure there's plenty of them that we're not thinking about. But that's good.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of my Lego Marvel superheroes knowledge. Toad, Pyro, oh goodness.
Yes.
Apocalypse.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you, Jose.
I knew I was forgetting one.
Apocalypse. There you are. All right.
Oh yeah, from the best X-Men movie.
Okay, is that sarcasm?
You decide.
I didn't see the movie.
Well, Oscar Isaac's in it, so it can't be that bad.
Okay. All right. Well, he's in a lot of things, so he's a very good actor. That's
he's
the reason
in Dune.
why. Yes, he is. Yes, he's in Dune as well.
For whatever that's worth.
Yes. Very good. All right. I think we can wrap it up now.
Honestly, if you haven't seen the second part of Dune, go watch that. It's way better than the first one.
All right. So Dune Part 2, you recommend. Well, do you I look, even though Part 1 may not be as good as Part 2, I think it still helps to watch the first movie, right?
Well, I didn't and you didn't. We turned out just fine. Go watch the second part
now. Okay, yeah. So you watched Part 2 first, but didn't you go back to watch Part 1?
Only out of obligation.
Okay, did you finish the movie?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And that confirms it that Part 1 was not on the same level as Part 2.
Mm-mm.
Okay, gotcha.
Part 2 wasn't a death fest. I mean, if you look at the icon on Max, like everybody on one side of Paul Atreides dies in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm shocked that they made it so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, all right. I still have to see.
you see which side, you'll know.
Okay, all right, that's cool. All right, well, I guess that's it then. So we will be back once again. You know, we're working on putting together our live stream spoiler reviews of X-Men 97. More to come on that, but we will be back next week for episode 10 of the Bad Batch because we're getting close to the end. And we got to see this through. I don't know how this is all going to, you know, what's going to happen at, you know, at the end. But I am here. We're all for it. Can't wait. So until then,
go.
all right. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, thank you so much. Until next time, take care.
And we'll see you